You wake up to a sound, a crunch, then another. Outside your tent, something is moving. You can't see it. The fabric separating you from the darkness is thinner than a winter jacket. Beyond it is an entire world built for the night. Eyes that see in darkness, ears that hear insects beneath leaves, noses so powerful they can detect a single animal from astonishing distances. And you're asleep, completely defenseless. No claws, no armor, no speed, no awareness. By every rule of nature, this should be the worst possible survival strategy. Because out there are wolves, bears, lions, leopards, mountain lions, animals that kill for a living. So here's the mystery.
Why do most campers wake up unharmed? Why aren't forests filled with predators quietly visiting camps every night? A sleeping human should be the easiest meal in the wilderness. And yet, for reasons that stretch back millions of years, most predators want absolutely nothing to do with you. The deeper scientists looked into this mystery, the stranger the answer became. Because it turns out the real question isn't why predators ignore sleeping humans. The real question is, why are they afraid of us at all? At first, the answer seems obvious. Humans are dangerous. But stop for a moment and actually look at us. Strip away civilization. No guns, no flashlights, no vehicles, no tools.
Just you, standing alone in the wilderness? Compared to almost every large predator, humans are remarkably unimpressive animals. We can't outrun deer, we can't smell prey, we can't fight a bear, we can't see in darkness. Even our teeth are mediocre. On paper, humans should rank somewhere between moderately competent primate and nutritional opportunity. And yet predators across the planet routinely avoid us. Not cautiously, not reluctantly, actively.
In 2019, researchers in California conducted an experiment with mountain lions. These are apex predators, silent ambush specialists, capable of killing animals many times their own size. Researchers placed speakers near cougar feeding sites and played ordinary recordings of human conversation. No shouting, no aggression, just people talking. The response was immediate. The mountain lions fled. Many abandoned fresh kills entirely. Think about what that means.
A predator had already invested enormous energy chasing, capturing, and killing prey. Every calorie matters in the wild. Walking away from food is expensive. Starvation is always waiting. And still, hearing nearby humans convinced these animals that leaving dinner behind was the safer choice. That is extraordinary. And it isn't unique. Across Africa, lions alter their movements around human activity. In India, tigers often avoid areas surrounding villages, even when those areas contain excellent hunting opportunities. In South America, jaguars regularly shift their behavior to reduce encounters with people. Predators don't merely recognize humans, they calculate risk.
And humanity has spent an astonishing amount of time teaching predators that we are risky. For roughly 2 million years, humans and our ancestors have hunted large animals. For thousands of generations, predators that underestimated humans paid for it, sometimes with their lives. The bold wolf approached camp, it didn't survive. The fearless lion targeted humans, humans targeted it back. The cautious animals lived, they reproduced. Their offspring inherited that caution. Generation after generation, natural selection quietly rewarded fear, until eventually avoiding humans became the default setting. Modern predators are descendants of survivors, and survivors learned one lesson above all else: stay away from humans.
Some scientists describe this as an evolutionary memory, not memory in the way we experience it. A leopard isn't consciously remembering ancient hunters around a campfire, but deep inside its nervous system exists an inherited warning signal refined over thousands of years. Be careful. Move away. This thing is dangerous. But history is only part of the story, because even if a predator has never encountered a human before, you still smell strange, unbelievably strange. To a bear, you aren't simply a sleeping animal. You are a walking chemical mystery. Bears possess some of the most powerful noses on Earth. Wolves can detect scent over enormous distances. Big cats analyze airborne chemicals using a specialized organ that essentially allows them to taste smells.
And when these animals encounter humans, the information they receive doesn't resemble normal prey. You smell like soap, laundry detergent, plastic, fuel, sunscreen, processed food, smoke, synthetic fabrics, insect repellent, metal. You carry an entire civilization on your skin. To predators, you are not deer, you are not elk, you are not anything evolution prepared them to hunt. You are an anomaly, and in nature, anomalies are dangerous. Most predators survive by specializing. A lion understands zebras, a wolf understands deer.
Predators become extraordinarily good at hunting familiar prey because familiar prey behaves predictably. Humans don't. Even sleeping humans don't, because humans have another advantage: fire. Imagine you're a wolf living 100,000 years ago. Night falls. Across the landscape, darkness swallows everything. Then suddenly, you see light. Fire. Around it sit strange, upright creatures. For millions of years, wildfire meant destruction. Animals that ignored fire disappeared. Animals that avoided it survived. Humans changed something fundamental. We didn't flee fire. We controlled it.
For countless generations, our ancestors slept beside flames. The fire provided warmth, it cooked food, but perhaps most importantly, it announced our presence. Something unusual lives here, something powerful. Stay back. Predators listened, and they kept listening. Even today, many wild animals instinctively avoid campfires, despite never experiencing direct danger from them.
The fear runs deep. Yet, even without fire, most predators remain cautious. Because contrary to movies, predators are not reckless killing machines. They're gamblers, very careful gamblers. Every hunt carries risk. A broken tooth can mean starvation. A damaged leg can be fatal. There are no hospitals in the wilderness, no recovery rooms. One mistake ends everything. So predators constantly ask invisible questions. How likely is success? How dangerous is this prey? Is there an easier option nearby? And sleeping humans create problems. We're unfamiliar. We often travel in groups. Our body shape is unusual.
And when awakened, humans can become loud, aggressive, and unpredictable almost instantly. For a predator, uncertainty itself is dangerous. Why attack something strange when safer prey exists? Why risk injury for an unfamiliar meal? Usually, the answer is simple. Don't. Move on. There's another twist. Humans aren't as helpless during sleep as we imagine. Throughout evolutionary history, sleeping too deeply was a bad strategy. Ancient humans faced predators, hostile groups, storms, and countless environmental dangers. Those who never woke up rarely passed on their genes. So human sleep evolved differently. Even asleep, parts of your brain remain alert.
Scientists sometimes call this the sentinel effect. Your sleeping brain continuously samples the environment. A snapped branch, heavy footsteps, sudden silence, a change in sound. These signals can rapidly trigger awakening. In other words, humans never completely turn off. We sleep with one foot still touching the world. And historically, we rarely slept alone. Groups changed everything. Humans clustered together. Families, bands, tribes. One person wakes, everyone wakes.
To a predator, 20 sleeping humans are not 20 opportunities. They're one very complicated problem. Predators understand groups. Wolves live in them. Lions live in them. They know coordinated animals are dangerous. Human groups amplify that danger enormously. Which brings us to an uncomfortable truth. Predator attacks absolutely happen. Sometimes they happen to sleeping people. But when researchers examine these cases, a pattern appears. Something unusual almost always occurred.
The predator was injured, old, starving, habituated to humans, or desperate. Take the infamous Tsavo lions in Kenya. These lions killed numerous railway workers in the late 19th century, but they were extraordinary cases, not normal behavior. One likely suffered physical problems that made traditional prey difficult to hunt. The famous Champawat tiger, responsible for hundreds of human deaths, had shattered canine teeth. Its normal hunting strategy no longer worked. Human prey became a last resort. Again and again, history tells the same story. Healthy predators living in intact ecosystems generally avoid sleeping humans.
Desperate predators sometimes don't. Desperation changes calculations. It overrides ancient caution. But under ordinary conditions, the inherited warning remains stronger. And that warning has become so powerful that it now reshapes entire ecosystems. Researchers studying mountain lions discovered something unexpected. Human fear affects everything. When predators avoid people, deer spend more time near humans. Deer populations increase. Vegetation changes. Smaller predators alter their movements.
Rodent numbers shift. Entire food webs reorganize themselves. Human fear radiates outward through ecosystems like an invisible force. Without touching an animal, without speaking, without even knowing it's happening. Our mere presence changes landscapes. Think about that. Somewhere tonight, deep in a forest, a predator may detect the faint scent of humans carried by the wind. And instead of approaching it, it quietly turns away. Not because it cannot kill us, not because it doesn't notice us,
but because millions of years of history have taught it caution. Long before cities, long before civilization, long before written language, humans became something extraordinarily unusual in nature, an animal other predators learned to fear. When you zip your tent closed at night, it can feel like you're protected by almost nothing. And physically, that's true. A tent cannot stop a bear. It cannot stop a lion. It cannot stop a wolf.
What protects you is something far older than nylon. It's 2 million years of shared history, a history written into human behavior, predator instincts, campfires, caution, and fear. Because the reason most predators leave sleeping humans alone isn't that we're helpless. It's that somewhere deep in the wild, evolution still remembers who learned to control fire.